Hello lovely people, how are you all doing today? I hope you're well. I am, sun's shining. I'm about to go out. Where am I going? Post office probably, yes, post office, and to do cardio hill today. I'm just popping up with a quickie today. It's going to be a quickie, I promise, because there's a couple of things I wanted to mention. Some stuff that's come through the post, a bit of entertainment, more of that in a sec. So yes, let's just get on and have a quickie. Do you remember, sorry, excuse me, back at, I think it was the beginning, yeah, it was the beginning of March, I bought this olive oil. It's called Honest Toil. I picked this up, I was back in London of course, and I had a little food shop called Good Food, and it's where I used to trade surplus garden produce. I mean, I didn't really have a lot of surplus, but things like one year I grew so much beetroot I couldn't possibly eat it all. Gave a few to friends, of course. Rhubarb, I always ended up with far more rhubarb than I could eat. So this shop was great. I could take any kind of fruit and veg in, and it was a flat price of £1.50 per kilo. So if you were doing lettuce leaves, it didn't really work out very well, but heavy stuff like beetroots and rhubarb, great. So I'd get a credit note, £1.50 per kilo, so some of my credit notes would be like £4, £5 because I'm taking so much stuff in. And then I could use my credit notes to buy at their shop, and mostly from them I would get my refills for my laundry liquid and my dishwashing up liquid. But every now and again I get some item, a sort of foodie item. Not often because it was expensive, but for instance I got some cheese there once that was gorgeous. It was actually a Dorset cheese via the cheeses they stocked, Royal Neal's Yard cheeses. Anyway, excuse me, I had noticed they'd got this. I did a little bit of research about the company and I thought, I really love this company, this ethos. They're a really small, I have to really clear my throat, sorry, that's better. I might be getting the beginnings of a cold, I'm not sure. Where are we? We are halfway through May. This will be really late for me to have my first cold. I haven't had a cold this year. Normally I would get a cold. I get 2 colds a year generally, March, April, October, November. Change of seasons. And I thought I'd get clobbered in the spring because of the stress of the move. That stress was just building and building and building all through sort of February and March. No cold, amazing. Back to the point, this is a quickie. I liked their ethos. It's a small company. They're based in the Peloponnese in Greece, which I have to reverse it for you to see it. It's the bit of Greece that sticks out on the bottom, never eat really, on the bottom west. It's that sort of isthmus, sort of peninsula. You have to cross the Corinth Canal to get onto the Peloponnese. Beautiful, beautiful area. Completely agrarian, quite a poor area, very poor area. And this is a really small company, a small farm, but the olives they use, they actually take in olives from some of the outlying farms, some of the really tiny farms. It's all brought together and pressed in one village. So it's kind of like a collective in a way. So I loved the idea of supporting that, supporting this old industry, in a country which, frankly, Greece, I mean, it's been on its knees for years now, hasn't it, financially? So yeah, let's support them. Love it. It's quite expensive though. Now, I found this, it's a ½ litre. It was £12.50 from that place. The cheapest I've seen it for elsewhere, even online, is £12.95. But look, it's the only thing I spend money on, really. I mean, obviously at the moment I've been spending money, on furniture, the new sofa. I'll show you, I'll do a furniture update video at some point because I'm gradually getting all my pieces together. But yeah, that's an anomaly at the moment because I've moved. But otherwise, generally, I only spend money on food. So why not you know, have the, and this is beautiful oil. It is gorgeous, whether you're using it raw on a salad, for instance, or whether you're cooking with it. It's gorgeous. It's a really green, fruity oil. It's got so much flavour. So I'm happy to pay more. But obviously, if you go for a bigger container, it gets cheaper. So I've just bought, because that one's going to run out, I've just bought the 1 litre, comes in a tin, and I love the tin, it's so cheerful. There we go, it's Honest Toil. And then, so when this is finished, I should do like the Greek do and cut the top out and use it to plant a geranium in. So this 1 litre cost me £24. So immediately that's making this one 12 quid. And like I said, everywhere else I've seen it, it's £13 or more. I've gone direct to their website to buy this. There we go, it's Honest Toil. There's another online company called Sous Chef. Be careful, it's foodie heaven. Sous Chef sells ingredients and equipment for the kitchen. Don't go there if you're an impulse buyer. But anyway, I went straight to the company. So it was 24 quid, free postage. Brilliant. The next size up, they do 1 litre, 2 litre, 3 litre and a 5 litre. And obviously, you know, once you get to the 5 litre stage, it's working out for your 500ml bottle. It works out at, I think it's something like £8. It's great. I believe there are some places where they do refills, so you could Google that for your area. I didn't think actually, because my health food shop here, where I've been in to buy some washing up sponges that are plastic free, they've got a section at the back that's all sort of refills and loose stuff. I should ask them. I didn't think. Anyway, but in your area, it's worth checking up. Is there a supplier in your area that does the top-ups? And again, I think this is another example of a closed loop system. I was talking about that with Minimal, whereby the traders who are doing the refill, the big container, they get it in. I believe that then goes back to Honest Toil to be refilled to come back to the retailer. Anyway, I think it's a gorgeous oil. Yes, it's expensive, but think of it in two ways. One, you're showing respect to yourself and your own body by buying the best you can. Look, and I know it's out of reach for a lot of people. I appreciate that. But the other thing for me is it's about supporting a really small business that's doing everything the old-fashioned way. It's all hand, everything's done by hand. They're very green, if you like, in that way. Just supporting a bit of their economy, because it's a country I love. It's a product I love. So by buying that, I'm kind of, yeah, just doing my bit a little bit. Right, the other day I had a bit of post as well from the lovely Claire Mittens, we call her. Now it seems like Claire she's a bit of a one for going around the charity shops, and she spies some good stuff. So she's done a little bit of a charity shop haul for me. Thank you, lovely. Now, Claire Mittens, I mentioned Claire Mittens again back in March because she sent me this book, My Life in France, which I was tearing through. It was just a few days before the move. Loving it. I think I've read 2 pages since I've landed in Swanage. It's too much to do. It's just too much going on. And I find by 11 o'clock when I go to bed, or 10 o'clock, I am lights out. I'm so pooped. So I haven't been reading, but I will get back to it. And having read the first few pages, I highly recommend it, by the way, if you're a foodie at all. If you've seen the film Julie and Julia, which I reviewed earlier in the year, and loved it, I think you'll love this book. It's gorgeous, and it's so full of her, just this huge spirit of joy and fun and grabbing life by the horns and really getting stuck into life and loving it. It's It's gorgeous. Now, when I started reading it, so thank you, Claire Mittens. I call her Claire Mittens because she made me a pair of mittens once. When I was talking about the book a couple of months ago, I was saying it makes me want to watch Julie and Julia again. But I'd already given my DVD back to the charity shop to sell again. She found me a copy, so I will be watching it again. I'm going to save it for the winter though, because well, firstly I want a little bit of time to pass, so not so I forget it. I won't forget the film, but you know what I mean. But also it's got such a lovely, warm, cosy vibe to it. So I'm going to be sprawling on the new sofa watching that in the winter. Thank you, lovely. But she also sent, and it's another foodie film. It's called The 100-Foot Journey, and like Claire said, it's a rubbish title. It is a rubbish title. Helen Mirren is in it. I'm sure many of you will know her. Claire, I've actually seen this film. I saw it a couple of years ago. I don't know how long it's been out. You know, one thing they never do on DVDs is put the date of the film's release, which would be really useful. I don't know why I think that would be useful. It would be useful to me. I like to know these things. I like to... Oh, it says 2014 is the copyright on the DVD, so maybe it's 2013. Anyway, it's a really sweet film, and I'm going to watch it again, and I'm going to thoroughly enjoy it. Your man here, what I remember, he picks up a copy of the Larousse's Gastronomique. I think it's in 2 volumes, so it's like this thick, the Larousse Gastronomique. It's sort of like the Bible of cooking and cooking techniques in France, and therefore pretty much chefs all over the world. So he studies it and he practices, and it's about 2 rival restaurants on opposite sides of the street, and the 100-foot journey is the journey across the street. It's huge fun, and yeah, makes you salivate to watch these kind of things, doesn't it? There's another DVD I'm going to come to because I watched it last night and I can't wait to tell you about it. But she also found, and this is gorge, it's a little wash bag. It's a Frida. Isn't that cute? Isn't that adorable? The wash bag. So I've got my big wash bag, which I bought it in France. It's made with that typical Provençal fabric. I don't travel so much anymore, and generally if I'm going somewhere it's for 1 or 2 nights, so it's useful to have a smaller one, and that's so cool. Claire, you've got good charity shops, haven't you? Thank you, lovely. But finally, being quick, one of the DVDs, I'm sure many of you have watched it. I'm going to see if I can find a date on this. I think it's from about 2010. I won't bother looking. It's called Fisherman's Friends. Oh, it's lovely. What a perfect film for me to watch now that I'm living by the sea and with beautiful miles and miles of countryside around. Just a note on that, I got a bit of a snippy comment. Actually, one person took their comment off later on, but saying, oh, you call this rural. It is a really rural area. That's a truck going past, a builder's lorry. It is an intensely rural area. Bear in mind, so far I've only been showing you in the flat and what I'm doing, a bit in the garden, and 2, I think by that stage, it's 2 trips to the shops. I've shown you 2 main roads, the main shopping roads, that's it. I haven't taken you outside of the town. I am surrounded by miles and miles and miles of nothingness except nature. There is some farmed land. Not a huge amount, but there is farmed land. But there are massive pockets of land in this whole Isle of Purbeck which are designated, for instance, an area of outstanding natural beauty, so nothing can be built. Areas that are of special scientific interest, so nothing can be built. There are wildlife reserves all around me. There are this town that I live in, we're a population of about 9,000, and then you have to, it's about 1,800 square miles, the Isle of Purbeck. There isn't another town. There are a smattering of small villages, all of them with less than 1,000 occupants, residents. Some of the villages have less than 100 people in them. I mean, tiny, tiny little hamlets. So yeah, this is a rural area. So anyway, back to this. The perfect film for me to watch, by the sea in a rural area, based on true story. So I'm going to look out for their CDs, music CDs. The premise is a gang of lads, London lads, I say lads, men in their maybe 30s, they're kind of music executives, they're big, they're swanky, oh, they're London. They go to Cornwall, Port Isaac is the town it's set in, for a stag weekend. And oh, they're horrible. They have zero respect for this community. They go out on paddle boards and end up having a disaster and have to be rescued by the RNLI. And it beautifully, at the beginning of the film, it beautifully portrays this antagonism. It's very us and them. It's sort of the locals versus the Emmets, the tourists, and the DFLs, the down from London. Beautifully portrays that. Long story short, while they are there, a group of fishermen, and they do this anyway, it wasn't for show, they meet once a week and they sing their sea shanties together, their old sea shanties, some of them dating back to 1652, I think. It's gorgeous singing. Were they a cappella? No, they might have an accordion occasionally. But just the harmonies, gorgeous. These songs, these shanties, gorgeous. I loved it. Can you tell? Can you tell I loved it? Long story short, one of the guys ends up thinking we could make this group of fellas a band. We could get a record deal out of this. So that's the premise of the film, is can they get a record deal? And I won't give the ending away, but it sort of beautifully captures that spirit of community in a small, fairly isolated place, a place where everybody is involved with the sea, and the sea does take lives. And how these sea shanties bond them, it bonds them together, and it bonds them to their ancestors and to the history of their village. It's oral history. The shanties tell stories from a shipwreck from 1750, and they're still singing the shanties today and keeping that history alive. It's really beautiful. It's a really soulful film. There's one bit, I'm not ashamed to say, I cried my eyes out. There's one bit, but I found the whole thing, I felt really emotional watching the whole thing, but not sad emotional, just the joy of it, and all the time I was thinking how right this move is for me, has been for me. I mean, I knew it would be, but literally from day one, how utterly, that's the word for it, right, how utterly right this is for me. This is perfect. I can't believe my good fortune. I've said this in comments on a number of occasions. I'm sort of pinching myself every day that this is my life. This is my life now, and it's everything I've ever dreamed of. I'm so grateful. Right, I said it was going to be a quickie. That's it. A tin of oil, some DVDs, a Frida wash bag, and yeah, if you get the chance. Actually, all 3 DVDs are great. You know, I loved that. I talked about that earlier in the year. The 100-foot journey, let's see, we get it without reflections. 100-foot journey, it's fun, great cast, yeah, sweet. Fisherman's Friends, adorable. And I am, like I said, I'm going to start looking out for I think they produced about 4 or 5 albums in the end, but I'd love a little bit of, you know, what the one we all know? Early in the hey there, up she rises, hey there, up she rises, hey there, up she rises early in the morning. Put her in the cabin with the captain's daughter, put her in the cabin with the captain's daughter, put her in the cabin with the captain's daughter early in the morning. You have to take a big breath to sing a shanty. Is there a shanty group here? Oh, to get involved with the singing group. I'd love that. I love singing. Right. There's too much to do here. That's the thing. That was also something I mentioned in comments about literally every week there is something happening. Every week we've had the Pirate Festival, we've got the Fairy Festival coming in VE, the VE Day week. There were things happening every day. We had the beacon lighting. I've joked that I would have to retire in order to make the most of everything that goes on here, but that's still 10 years away, so I have to be picky and choosy. Right, I'm going. Quickie. All right, lovelies, I'll see you again really soon for the planned one. I'm just slotting this one in between. So until then, please take care of yourselves. Sing. Put the radio on. Put your favourite tunes on and sing. It's so good for the soul, isn't it? Until the next one. Cheerio, lovelies.